Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into the work of performance psychologist Jamil Qureshi to unlock the secrets of high performance. And we're going to look at a really simple but incredibly powerful framework that can totally change how you think about success in your work and in your life. Let's get right into it.
Wow, let's just start with that. That is a heavy thought, isn't it? This quote, it just cuts right to the chase of what we're talking about today. Closing that gap between the person you are right now and the person you're truly capable of becoming. It's a huge reminder of what's really at stake here.
So, how do we actually close that gap? Well, Jamil Qureshi argues that it all breaks down to a surprisingly simple and, well, elegant formula. And here it is. Performance equals potential minus interference. This is the whole game right here. See, your performance isn't just about how much raw talent you have. It's about that talent minus whatever is getting in your way. So to get better, you don't always need more potential. A lot of the time, you just need less interference. Think about your potential like this. It's actually abundant. It's like this tree. You, me, all of us. We are naturally wired to grow and succeed. You could almost say success is our default setting. The only thing that stops a tree from reaching its full height, or stops us, is when something gets in the way of that natural growth. Okay, so if potential is pretty much a given, the real variable we have to deal with is that interference, and you might be a little surprised to find out who your biggest opponent really is. Yup, it's you. Or, to be more specific, it's that little voice inside your head. See, interference isn't usually the external stuff. It's the internal dialogue. It's the self-doubt, the fear of messing up, all the junk that we create for ourselves. It's like mental static that's blocking our own signal. Now, here's a totally game-changing way to think about that negative voice. It's not your enemy. Imagine it's like a worried 5-year-old who's desperately trying to keep you safe, but they just don't have the right words. It screams, "Don't fail," because deep down it wants you to succeed. So our job isn't to shut that voice up, it's to translate what it's really trying to tell us. And here's what that translation looks like in real life. Take the golfer Paul McGinley. He's facing a putt to win the Ryder Cup. Huge pressure. The 5-year-old in his head is screaming all these negative commands out of pure fear. Don't pull it left. But the adult, the high performer, translates that into a positive, clear instruction. Pick my spot at the back of the cup. Don't mess this up becomes focus on the process. See the difference? So if our mind is where all this interference happens, well, it's also the place where we can train ourselves to beat it. In fact, it's the most powerful practice arena you could ever have. Just listen to this incredible story of an American soldier. He was a prisoner of war during the Korean War. And for 3 long years, he was held captive, a lot of that time in solitary confinement. So obviously, he couldn't practice his favorite sport, golf, physically. So what did he do? He practiced mentally. Every single day, he would walk his home course at Pinehurst entirely in his mind. He pictured every shot, every blade of grass, he felt every putt. And the result of all this mental practice? It's just astonishing. When he was finally released and got home, he went out and played a round of scratch golf. That's the score of an expert player without having touched a real club in 3 years. His mind was so perfectly trained that his body just followed the instructions. That story just proves the unbelievable power of our minds. So how do we actually apply this to our own lives? Well, it's a pretty straightforward 3-step process. First, just acknowledge that negative voice. Don't fight it, just hear it. Second, remember what's behind it. It's that misguided 5-year-old just trying to help. And then finally, you step in as the adult in the room and translate its panicked warnings into calm, productive advice. What this all really boils down to is self-awareness. The legendary soccer manager Arsene Wenger once said it was the #1 thing he looked for in his players. See, the best of the best don't just have good days and bad days. They actually understand why they're having a good day, so they can do it again, all by managing their inner world. And this brings us to the last, and I think the most empowering part of this whole idea. Once you understand this equation, you have complete control over your own success. This proves that your mindset can actually be more powerful than your circumstances. Of course, a good environment helps, but we see people thrive in the most difficult situations all the time. How? Because they make a choice. They choose an attitude that helps them get from where they are to where they want to be. Right? Achieving your potential is an active, deliberate process. It requires a decision, a choice. And then you have to act on it. You have to take responsibility for your own climb.
You have to choose to start walking. So let's end with this. Your potential is not in question. It's massive. That's a given. The real variable here, the thing that will actually define your performance, is the interference. And managing that, well, that's entirely up to you. It's a choice. So the real question for you isn't about how much potential you have.